If you're looking for the best bossing setup in Borderlands 4, then this Harlowe build is perfect for you. Whether you're a level 50 Harlowe main, just starting out with a fresh playthrough, or jumping in at level 30 in Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, you'll be able to use this video to guide you on how to spend every single skill point to maximize damage with her Chroma Accelerator action skill. We'll go through some tweaks depending on your level, the best gear, and show you how to farm the best weapon to pair with Harlowe to make sure you melt bosses as fast as possible. While this build can still help clear mobs in crowded rooms thanks to entanglement, it really shines when the focus is one-shotting bosses as quickly as possible. Let's talk about how the Chroma Accelerator actually works and why entanglement is such a core part of this build. When you fire the Chroma Accelerator, you're launching a giant energy ball that deals cryo damage along the way. You can press the action skill button again to detonate it, triggering a massive radiation explosion that hits everything in the area. This is your nuke for bosses. The entanglement trait comes into play whenever you hit enemies with Chroma Accelerator. Those enemies become entangled, which means they start sharing a portion of your gun and skill damage with all other entangled targets. This is huge because every additional enemy you hit with your nuke or follow-up bullets is essentially amplifying your total damage. It's why even in crowded rooms you can melt multiple enemies at once. But for this build, we're mainly using it to hit ridiculously hard in boss fights. Let's start by breaking down the creative burst tree, which is really where the heart of this build lives. Field Ready Prototype will get 5 points and is a no-brainer. It boosts all action skill damage, meaning every nuke from your Chroma Accelerator hits significantly harder right off the bat. Elementary gets 5 points stacked on top of that, increasing all elemental and status effect damage, which is huge because our nukes are radiation based, and we want every tick to count. Test Subjects gets 2 points, which might seem small, but it's impactful. Every time you apply a status effect, your action skill cooldown is accelerated, letting you get your nukes back faster and keep the damage flowing. Enrich gets 3 points, directly improving radiation damage, further compounding the power of all the other radiation focused passives or stacking. Practical Applications will get 5 points, increasing all skill damage across the board, so your nukes and supporting skills are hitting harder no matter what. We put 5 points into Poison Sun, specifically enhancing radiation damage and irradiation chance, which is perfect for our goal of melting bosses as fast as possible. Missile Launcher will get 2 points and adds an extra layer of damage by shooting radiation darts at other enemies whenever you hit an irradiated or entangled target. Even a few extra ticks can really add up. The other 3 points needed to move to the next row will go into Chain Reactor. This is another radiation amplifier that specifically targets entangled enemies. Dirty Bomb will get 1 point and creates small radiation explosions every time you irradiate a target, essentially giving you mini nuke on top of your main action skill. Each of these skills it's doing its own work, but together they start to form a very potent radiation damage loop. 5 points go into Mechanical Brilliance and is another critical piece. Every skill hit increases your skill damage and stacks, meaning the longer your action skill is active, the more deadly it becomes. For our augment, we're going to go with Neutron Capture. This takes all of the damage dealt by our unstable energy pack and transfers that damage to our gun, meaning every bullet we fire into the target will do that amount of damage. That means using a weapon that hits quickly is our best bet. Think of something like an SMG with a huge mag, or if you want a great legendary, go with Katagawa's Revenge. Demon Core will be our capstone, turning the unstable energy packet into a radiation-hitting powerhouse that automatically irradiates enemies you entangle, dealing 40% of your irradiated damage. We'll spend our last 13 skill points in the Seize the Day tree. Parallel Circuit will get 5 points, which gives extra gun damage every time you trigger or re-trigger your action skill. That's an immediate buff to our weapon every time we launch the nuke. Pulse Drive will get 3 points and gives us a 15% cooldown rate on our action skill. Finally, Periodic Table Flip will get 5 points, boosting elemental damage, status effect application, and cryo effectiveness, giving radiation damage another layer of amplification. When you put all of these skills together from the Creative Burst and Seize the Day tree, you'll see every skill feeds into the next, creating a continuous chain of damage multipliers that make this Harlowe build devastating against bosses. Now that we've gone over all of the individual skills, let's talk about how they work together. When you trigger Chroma Accelerator, you're immediately stacking Field Ready Prototype, Practical Applications, and Mechanical Brilliance, so your nuke hits like a truck. Elementary, Poison Sun, and Enrich layer on radiation damage, meaning that each tick of the nuke is amplified by multiple sources. As soon as your unstable energy packet starts moving, Demon Core automatically irradiates enemies you entangle, which then triggers Dirty Bomb explosions and extra radiation hits from Missile Launcher and Chain Reactor. While all of this is going on, Test Subjects and Pulse Drive are working quietly in the background to reduce your action skill cooldown, so your nukes are coming back faster. Then you've got your gun synergy. Neutron Capture stores the damage from your nuke and transfers a portion to your weapon, allowing you to deal massive damage even after the explosion goes off. Parallel Circuit adds even more damage every time you trigger your action skill, stacking beautifully with Neutron Capture. To really make this build Shield Shine, you want a weapon that amplifies your nukes and maximizes radiation damage. That's where Katagawa's Revenge comes in. This legendary sniper rifle has 2 modes. Incendiary, which drops storm clouds that explode, and Shock, which spawns little auto-aiming turrets that shoot lightning. The Shock mode is what we're after because every hit from those turrets count as multiple additional radiation ticks when paired with neutron capture. The more shots that hit the boss after the Chroma Accelerator goes off, the more damage you're stacking, and that's exactly what melts the bosses. You can farm Katagawa's Revenge by killing the Driller Hole boss in the Tonnage Peel region. Just remember that running it on Ultimate Vault Hunter 1 through 5 doesn't make a difference for legendary drop rate. You're better off doing it on easy, normal, or hard, whichever you can clear it the fastest. Going in UVH is nice to get better rolls, but if you're just after the gun itself, don't worry about it. If you don't have it, don't worry. The amount of hits is what matters. So go with your fastest firing weapon, which will likely be an SMG. The level and damage doesn't actually matter as long as you're hitting the boss as quickly as possible. Remember, the nuke's damage being applied, not your weapons. For an extra boost, you could throw the crit knife at the boss right before your slow-moving nuke lands, turning all your radiation damage into crits for massive bursts. If you want, I've got a video on the best way to farm it linked here, but it's not necessary since it's really tough to get it to drop. There are definitely enhancements and class mods that can help boost damage and increase skills above their stated max, but you can mix and match to find what works best for you. The loop is simple but devastating. First, you fire the Chroma Accelerator to get it to move towards the boss. Then, if you have it, you can throw your penetrator knife to make everything hit as crits. Once your nuke reaches the boss, make sure to trigger it with the action skill button, and then unload on it with your weapon. All of the damage from the nuke should be applying through your weapon. If this doesn't kill the boss, the skill's applying action skill cooldown should help you get it back quicker. Once it's ready, send out the nuke, trigger the explosion, and unload again. If you want to get caught up on the entire Borderlands story, the video on the left is perfect for you. If you're still hunting the crit knife, check out the video on the right.